Right, it's Wednesday, October 22nd, just watching the SPY here as it opens up on the day. You can see here it opened up and immediately went lower and took out the liquidity of the pre-market lows. I expected a pause there, and that's what happened. It bounced up. The question is, as we go to the daily chart now, is this going to be kind of a red shooter bar that gives us a two-down day and starts filling in this gap? These gaps down here on the daily chart and maybe even starting to the bottom of the range? Or is this just a pause day before we reach the weekly target high up here, the top of this big red bar? So, we're still going to watch opening price action. The 15-minute chart here obviously looks like, it went down and is forming a bit of a hammer bar here, and that's fine. So we'll see if we get some kind of red to green move to continue higher, and that would be a sign that this is just a pause day from yesterday and we're still working up to those highs. But I'm also comfortable, trying to go short here at the top of a range should price action lead me there. So I'm watching this opening price action very closely. The 1-minute chart, I expected the bounce here, but we're only coming kind of to the midpoint of this first bar at the moment, and we'll see if we get some kind of strong push down and consolidate and break down. I can see that kind of pinballing into a two-down day. If we can get a two-down day at this point, get below that low that's forming, then there's a good chance that this is the beginning of a failure that can then pinball to the bottom, to the open of the week right here, and then kind of type of thing where you're failing near the top of a range and maybe working back to the middle or even bottom of the range in a big way. However, like I said, I still am biased on the weekly chart to the upside. We're now 3 days into the week. Time becomes important, relative to Monday through Friday. And, we're not really failing on the week, and there's still an inside bar target to those highs here. So I'm also going to be comfortable, doing that should we kind of get a little bit of a, it looks like this bar here might give us a red to green, just kind of like yesterday. And then start higher towards yesterday's high and ultimately last week's high up here. So either way, it can go either way, but we're just going to have to go with price action at this point. I'm being patient at the open and seeing what happens. And again, on the daily chart, very small, narrow day yesterday that didn't really follow through. You can see we're just inside of that today at the open, very narrow. So I still think anything's possible, up or down, and I'm willing to go either way and pretty nimble on, on the trade, that I really want to see it immediately follow through, or else then we're probably going the opposite way. In other words, if I get some kind of buy here in the morning that really can't follow through, then there's a good chance we can come back down through the low and start lower. If we try to start lower and fail for a second time here this morning, then there's a good sign that we are heading higher. So all those factors are in play. Just wanted to shoot a video here as I'm patiently watching this 15-minute chart unfold and going to guide me to which direction I want to trade today.